We're back with another rusted ride, and it just happens to be another F250. There's some good, some bad, and definitely some ugly. Let's get into it. Cam started by carefully removing the box. You might recognize that Honda-powered John Deere from the Vega engine video. With the box off, it was time to get the truck into the shop. Welcome to another episode of Rusted Rides. We are working on a truck. Cam is you've already pulled the box off. This is part of the box.
Yeah, I had to surgically remove the box, but I did not really need to cut the bolts because the box rails stayed right where they were.
Isn't that wild, eh? Just so crusty.
On this episode of Krusty Rides.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez, eh? So it's an F250. What's the guy want?
He didn't want the rockers done. He was like, just sandblast them. But as you know, they rust from the inside, so we cut all them out. We've already started putting new ones in. I'm going right into the pinch welds. Okay.
So it's getting a new box.
Yeah, he's got a southern box. I gotta go pick it up from his place. And we're going back to a two-tone. So I guess the main point of this video will be we'll give a quick rundown on how to do a really nice two-tone paint job.
Nice.
Oh,
well,
wish I'd rather be doing something fun, but you gotta pay the bills.
Yeah.
So we'll keep cutting and welding and make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
We got to work stripping down the truck, and the owner was hoping we could just clean up the fenders. But when we pulled off the fender flares, the fenders were in such rough shape there was just no saving them. The lip of the wheel well was gone on both of them. The back end was so covered in rust, the box was not savable, but the frame was mostly just surface rust and can be cleaned up. Cam started welding the new rocker panels and cutting out the cab corners. What he is doing is cutting out the rust and rot and getting back to where there is some solid metal. Then he starts fitting in the patch panel cab corner. After cutting it to size, he then marks the truck where the cab corner sits. Then, cleaning up and exposing bare metal, he is creating a nice place to weld the new patch panel to. With the corner fitted in place and sitting where it should be, he tacks it on and then checks things before welding the rest of it. Welding one spot at a time, then moving over an inch helps keep the metal from getting too hot and warping. Once it's welded every inch all the way around, he then goes back and adds more using the same technique. Once the entire truck is done, it's definitely a great idea to spray some oil undercoating to the backside of all of the rocker panels and cab corners that were welded into place. After replacing the cab corners and rocker panels, it was time to scuff down the entire truck and apply body filler to any small dings, dents, or imperfections. The last bit of metal work was under the dew wipes on the window edge of the door. This is a common problem for Ford trucks, and we've had to do this a few times. You have to be very careful not to nick or cut into the glass. After cutting out the old jagged, rusted edge, a new chunk of metal was bent up and welded in. With all of the filler and glaze putty sanded smooth, the truck was now ready to be taped and masked. And with that out of the way, primer was applied to the filler, any bare metal, and the red replacement fenders. When the primer was dry, it was time for the two-tone. Masking and taping off the cab so just the lower section will get secondary color. When the gold was finished, the masking was reversed and taped so that the blue could be sprayed. We will get into why we do it this way when we do the box, so stay tuned for that. Notice the gun that Cam is using. He used it for the blue color and for the clear on the cab. He was trying out a gun, and we will give you his thoughts later on.
Luckily, we got all the tape peeled off our two-tone, and it didn't peel it all up, which is always a huge risk and a huge pain when it does happen. Let us know in the comments what you think about racing stripes on an F250. I'm a little iffy on it myself. So, yeah, I guess we'll lay out some clear.
When the truck first came in, it was blue with a silver two-tone. It didn't have any paint on the fenders, just flat black plastic, and it didn't have any two-tone on the hood. Just wait till you see the finished product. All right, this doesn't seem to have any rust on it. Is that your doing, or?
No, man, I got lucky this time. We bought a Southern box.
Beautiful. Here. Oh, that is just... I hope that shows up on camera. Yeah, that looks so good.
My only complaint is that when people are bringing these boxes up from the States, they're not very nice to them. So it was... I probably should have filmed it yesterday, but there was about 13 hours of straightening out dents, putting body fill in it. There's no rust.
No patching.
Same as the cab. We'll start off with the gold two-tone. A lot of painters do it. I guess this would be called the secondary color, is they don't tape off just to start with. They just spray on their gold along the bottom or silver, whatever color you're putting on the bottom. And then they tape it off and they just spray over the overspray that'll come up
right,
here.
So they only have to tape it once.
I double tape. I tape both times. I think you just get a cleaner mark.
Yeah, like that other F250 we did. That was like so smooth. Like the tape was...
Oh, yeah.
There was no lip or bump. It kind of was just like perfect transition.
And then we're going to color match his fender flares.
Yeah, this wasn't just decorations. This isn't just some Blair Witch Project stuff, hanging things.
Paint them gold. It'll look great. And let's mix some paint.
Okay. So we're using Chromax.
Premier. I don't know what paint code is. It's just some stuff I had laying around. Used it on the last Ford. Probably use it on the next Ford.
There's going to be a next Ford?
Oh, no. I'm not doing another Ford.
These trucks, let me tell you, they're just not easy to work on. And when we have them roll in here, they're never in good shape. They're always... Although this box, like you said, it was nice to have this one instead of doing repairs. It's nice to have the new box. Should we show everybody what you're using for compressor and airline and all that stuff? I don't think we've ever done that before.
Well, you could show them if you want. It's some old...
It's a relic, but it runs great, and it's got great capacity. It keeps up, which is nice. You need to have a compressor that keeps up. This could probably use a good pressure wash at some point. But then you've got this here.
Garbage can water separator.
Well, it was hanging on the wall, but now it's just resting over here. So that's just to take all the moisture out of the air before it gets to the gun, right?
Yeah, the gun. I should probably mention $80 Amazon gun. Save your money. This is probably going to end up in that garbage can. I'm not using it. I used this on the cab, and I had to repaint the truck. Didn't film that. Didn't want to say anything about it, but yeah, had to respray that. I think it's this thing's fault.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Amazon gun, no good. But like Princess Auto, Harbor Freight, we've had not too bad of luck, right?
Oh, no, I'm not even going to use this one. This was a $5 on sale.
That was...
Primer. So, we're back to the trusty A&I F160 Plus with the 1.3 millimeter tip.
Yeah.
Sprays base clear, very nice.
Just so everybody knows, the gun is actually very clean. It's just the staining on the can up top there. But the gun it's a gray gun. It's very clean, very nice.
It's the most expensive one Princess Auto has. It's like $300.
So after using the better gun, the paint turned out the way we wanted. The Amazon gun just didn't perform well with clear coat, and the cab had to be scuffed down and re-cleared. We did this off camera so we wouldn't bore you by painting it twice.
I like it when you peel it off and the paint doesn't go flying everywhere.
Oh, so satisfying though. Look at that. Look at that crisp line.
Well, I hope it lines up with the two-tone on the cab now. Could you imagine that?
Oh, that would be awful.
I'll just shim the cab. If anyone's wondering, I did buy special tape just for the two-tone.
Yeah, that's not just like your Home Depot painter's tape.
The people that subscribe to us, hoping for like $300 DIY paint jobs, this is not really the video for them.
Yeah.
More of a.
This isn't the $300 rustoleum.
This is a $15,000 paint job.
That gold lays out so nice, but at $1,200 a gallon it should. All right, so half an hour for that to dry before taping off again.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't peel it off.
So we're gonna go get a snack. After everything had cured up, it was time to reassemble the truck. Now, I got suckered into one of those gas station demos when someone has a table of product and they come over and show you on your car. Well, I bought some of that stuff, but we did use it on the tires and shine up the grill and pretty much clean the whole truck down. Not bad stuff, so I guess I'm not too much of a sucker. Alright, thanks again for watching another episode of Rusted Rides. The truck is done, it looks fantastic. Honestly, Cam, you did a lot of work on this thing. And I was MIA for pretty much the entire time, but it's good that you got Katie working, doing some sanding.
Yeah, she took off as soon as she knew the camera was coming out. But shout out to my new employee, Katie.
Yeah.
She's doing a good job.
Yeah.
She shows up on time in the morning.
It's amazing.
Sometimes.
But yeah, truck's looking good. We waxed the thing down. We put some tire shine on it. The bed looks so good from both on top and underneath. I think the client is going to be super impressed when he gets his truck back.
Well, he hasn't had it in, what's this been? It's 5 weeks, 5 weeks later. This is my masterpiece after 5 long weeks. Anything that could go wrong, it went wrong. And he was adding things in too that kept prolonging it being done. So there's going to be some gaps in the footage. I apologize, but it's why Tim and our new camera girl, Kate, will edit it together to be hopefully somewhat entertaining. If anyone's even watching at this point, it's a Ford.
Hopefully, we still got beauty shots coming. But yeah, so the two-tone, you color match the fender flares. There's a little detail on the hood that looks really awesome. So I think this truck really turned out well. So let's roll some beauty shots, shall we?
Thanks for watching.
If you're putting fender flares like that on your truck, you should take axle grease and just coat the entire part of the fender you're doing, and coat the underside, everything.
They did.
And then they did, and they still did that. If you don't have winters like us, no big deal. If you live in the States, somewhere in the southern states, fender flares till your heart desires. If that makes any sense. Did I say that right? Until your heart desires? As your heart desires? I'm gonna cut that part out.
Here we are. 5 weeks later. This is the end of the 5th week.
There's just a lot to do. It's just,
Tim
forgot.
Yeah. He doesn't have our wires. Oh Christ, I don't even know what to say about this one. I'm just so not into the whole doing another Ford.
You didn't have enough time to recover since the last one.
Good job. I want our little wires back. This is...
Oh, it's not as good.
No. The audio is going to be all over the place.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of complaints. No, actually, I shouldn't say a lot. We get like 1 or 2 complaints a video about like the music being too loud. It's usually my fault. I like music.